Okay, Angel Modz. So it's been a minute since I've heard this name. So I'm not going to get into this situation with this burner account, this very obvious burner account. But I'm just going to go over my experience because he's popping back up again. It's like it's my chance to give my experience now that it's somewhat relevant because I thought it might do more harm than good when it happened, and it's been about a year since it happened. But basically, he hasn't learned or he hasn't improved as a person or as a modder this whole time. So a little context. I have the utmost appreciation for artists. When I played Magic, I had altars to my cards done all the time. I had custom playmats done all the time. I commissioned artists for all kinds of things. And one of my like rules is always pay more than the artist requests. Whenever I can, I try to pay, give extra $10, $25, sometimes more. For example, these are a playset of Death Shadows that last time I was playing, like in 2019. I had them all altered to match Uchiha members. So like that's Itachi, Madara. I'm trying to play with my camera. Sasuke and Shisui. Everybody told me to get Obito, but I like Shisui better than Obito. I overpaid for these. These altars, the playset, they asked for $250. I gave them $300. This one was cheap. This is just a germ token with perfect cell. I think I paid $30 for that one. And this is just some Thopter tokens with some Da Vinci-esque like blueprints. I actually can't remember how much I played for these, but it wasn't much. And God knows how many playmats that I don't have anymore. I've given those to friends as gifts and stuff. But bottom line, I really appreciate artists that take my dumb ideas and make them happen. And for like it boosted my enjoyment of playing Magic, and I thought this would be similar. So I requested Angel Modz to make me a mod of Cammy dressed as Lady Maria. So in my head, this sounded like it would be a big deal. Like it'd be a lot of work. That's how it. Like I was like, man, you got to add all this clothing to a character that's wearing next to nothing. You got the hat and the weapons if you want to be extra. I don't know. That sounds like a lot. So I was expecting to pay like $100. I was like, it's got to be at least $100, right? Well, here's the beginning of our. Now I found him the same way everybody does. If you don't know, Angel advertises himself by putting his mods up on DeviantArt and let you download them, but then the download is just a README file telling you how to contact him. And the deal is you're supposed to get whatever mods you wanted to begin with if you commission another mod. And I'm just now realizing I didn't get that. So I didn't even get there was a Cammy Psylocke mod. And I was like, oh, I want that. And then I got this, and I was like, well, fuck. And I was trying to think of a mod I would want commissioned, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go with this. So I provided this screenshot. I provided this picture, and I want to address this too. I've seen people call Angel a scammer. I don't think he's a scammer, because to call him a scammer implies some level of manipulation that I don't think he has the mental capabilities for. Let's just word it that way. He's not playing 4D chess to manipulate people and to scam people. He's playing like rooftop Connect 4 at best, underwater backgammon or something. But I provide so this is kind of where I kind of got clued in that he's not that smart. He thought this character was looking down, or he thought this character had no face. He thought this was just the character with no face. He couldn't like infer from the angle of the hat that the character was just looking down. And then I provided this one. So I provided these two, and he's like, oh, her face covered or not covered. I'm trying to determine from the two pics. And I was like, so I provide this one. But also, he didn't infer that this is just a hat. He thought this was a sash over her eye. So I'm like, these are obvious clues that I'm missing, right? Her cap is kind of low, but face is not covered, yada, yada. And he said, oh, I see, that's a hat. Well, anyway, we get into the price, and this should have been my first red flag. Trying to figure out if it's doable. For sure looking at 60. So I thought he was doing what I feel like a lot of artists do, and just trying to like get the commission by offering a lower price and underselling themselves. That's what I feel a lot of them do sometimes. So I was like, I got 120 if you can make it happen. And another reason I was willing to give him double is because he supposedly is doing this to raise money for his mother, who has an undefined illness. So, whether you believe that or not is your own. That's your own prerogative. I'm not certain myself. But anyway, so another thing, he implies a false sense of urgency right here. Honestly, I've never done that anyone pays so they can be put on the list and don't lose their spot. Everyone pays so that they can be put on the list and don't lose their spot. I've known plenty of artists that take commissions if you do half like up front and then half on completion, and some of them do even less than that. Some of them are like, another percentage or something. So that's what I originally offered. Half up front, half on completion. So he's wording it to imply that he's in demand. He's like, this is, I guess this is where you can make the argument that he's at least somewhat intentionally manipulative. I get a request every day or so. If you get paid if you paid today, you would be number 4. If you paid tomorrow, you could be number 7 or worse. I've never failed, though. Not sure how you found me, but my gallery is filled with commissions, and we'll both agree to a contract, sort of speaking, when you pay as well to protect us both, yada, yada. I said, either way works for me, because, it did. All right. So he does this, like, whole pseudo, like, attempt at a binding contract, and I don't know. Maybe it fucking is. Who fucking knows? This donation goes straight to my mom, and all donations are final. Yada yada. So I agreed, and I'm thinking the guy's weird, but I've met a lot of quirky, talented artists. So, I try not to judge people on that. But so I PayPal him. I give him proof that I PayPal'd him $120. And it is in his mother's name. I'm assuming this is his mother's name. So, and he asks about my name. And I was like, yeah. But I wanted to show you I'm 100% professional. Yeah, you're a professional, bro. No doubt about that. So I told him, I was browsing for the Psylike mod, which he did not give me. He did not offer to give me, because I forgot. So he asked me the next day, when I was supposedly number 4, the next day, after there's supposedly 4 people ahead of me, but he messages me at, are these not timestamped? I'm not sure. But I missed the message, apparently. So I told him I missed the message, and yada yada, and he's like, you want a sneak peek? I said, unfortunately, I was driving, and I was working nights at this time. This is why I'm so like out of it. This is what he shows me. Okay, so let's look at Lady Maria again. Let's compare. Does this look close to you guys? It doesn't look close to me. Which this is fan art. Which that's a fair point. That's not official artwork. All right. So these are generic. These look. I mean, these. I don't know where he got these assets, but they're reused, obviously. Like, the boots aren't close. The gloves aren't close. The like, Maria doesn't have these buckles going across her abdomen. The coat is entirely different. There's no little fucking handkerchief action, whatever the fuck you call that. There's definitely no eye patch in here. The hat. I guess the hat is the closest part, but still very different. Hair's completely different. Like, this didn't look close, right? So, he said, really happy with how she came out. Like, really happy. I said, same. Really impressed so far. Just thinking, like, this is just a rough draft, right? I hope it's everything you were hoping for. I've done my best. And I was like, this is where I've got the sense that, oh, this is it. This is what he came up with. I was like, did he even look at any of the sources that I gave him? Granted, I only gave him a few. But, that's like, so I was trying to see if how much of this was on me. I was trying to figure out how much of this am I accountable for. But I obviously determined that no, he just did not look at the character. He didn't Google the character. He honestly barely looked at the pictures I provided. So I said, it looks great, but just so you have better reference, here's how her clothes look in better detail. And I used a male character just because I thought like the broader shoulders and whatnot would display all of these things. Like the broader build would display like, hey, this is very different than what you provided. This is very different, So he says, looks like a guy's outfit. LOL. And I already have her in game, and as you can see, her texture's all done and everything. I'm just editing transparency materials and whatnot so I can upload it for you. I said, so this is close to complete. I thought this was just an update. I thought this was just a rough draft. He said, that was a screenshot I took the other day when I tried to message you. It's on my phone. I actually started on day 1, got her in game today, edited some colors and whatnot. Yes, sir. You don't have to wait much longer. She's almost ready. I said, I'm fine waiting longer. The garb looks like regular hunter gear and not her specific outfit. And Maria doesn't wear any eye coverings. So here's the thing. The fundamental issue here is I am the customer. And the customer has leverage in these exchanges. And he's not giving me the leverage that the customer is inherently entitled to. That's redundant. Entitled to. He's not giving me the leverage the customer is entitled to. So he says, oh, I couldn't see her face. I can remove that, no problem. And this is the only type of models available for Bloodborne. Everyone knew who she was when they seen this. And this is the other thing. He does this all the time. Everyone knew. Everyone I talked to. Everyone I made up for this point, for this anecdote, is on my side and not yours. All I have to do is assign materials and, well, I guess take off the face cover, and that's not a problem. But this has been one of the hardest mods I've ever done, too. I love how she looks in game. I've edited her textures, and she has grayish white hair. It won't take me too long to remove that face cloth, don't worry. I said, it looks great so far. I just paid double your asking price, so I'm going to be a bit picky. I just want her to look like her specifically. I'm sorry for any inconvenience. And I'm still being a little too fair in this exchange. So, only reason I did it, otherwise I would have passed, or there would have been added charges anyways. I mentioned in the files to provide an XPS model of what you're looking for specifically. He did not tell me that. Maybe it's somewhere in the document or something, but he did not tell me to provide any type of files. This I had to figure out on my own. I'm not familiar with the game, but only thing Bloodborne I found was actually this. I made it match entirely. I see one is black and one is brown. Is that the difference? Like normal gloves, this one is much better. To be honest, that one looks like a guy in a presidential suit from the 1800s. So he's resorted to mocking what I wanted to try to influence me. He's trying to convince me that what he made is what I wanted and that his is better. Which, That's just dumb. Like, you can't tell me. I can't tell you, like, hey, I want Cammy to look like Maria, and then you provide that, and then I say, oh, you know what? On second thought, it does look just like it, blah, blah, blah. The one I made is for a girl's outfit. It actually looks like a hunter with a glove with talons and all that. The thing had like 73 materials, most work of all. I'm extremely happy with it. Shoot, I actually like the face covering. I'll remove it, though, because you want me to. I can edit the texture to be black as well if you want. Up to you, I guess. I like the way it is, though. Yet your call if you want it black. So, you see the arguments he's using. The people I've talked to, I like this better. This looks better. Yada yada. So I finally just had enough. I said, okay. At every turn, I've explained what I wanted, and you have deflected the input in some form or another, and even attempted to persuade me that what you made is what I wanted or asked for. I don't want the mod. Just keep the money. And whether this last line, just keep the money, whether that's petty or not is up for debate. So, I am not hurting over $120, but the thing is, when I was thinking about it, about if getting the money back or not, I thought about, like, what if his mother really is sick, and she really does need this money, and the fact that the PayPal account was, in his mother's name, or at least in a female name, and it might be his girlfriend for all I know, but I was like, the risk reward is like, in my head, it's like, all right, either do I feel better about, will I feel better if I potentially let a scumbag get $120 out of me, or let a scumbag get $120 out of me to pay for his mother's illness, his mother's undefined illness? It's like, I would feel better if I just assume that she is ill and that they do need this money. It's no skin off my back, really. And if he's a scumbag, I mean, he's a scumbag. So he says, you're telling me after I'm finished and showed you on what a 5-day project that's complete, I told you I can remove the cloth on the face, and if you want it black, not brown, okay, I can do that as well. I can't uncomplete it, though. She's already in the game. I can only make changes to the mesh, like remove certain parts. I already put it together. I said, that's fine. You were paid. But I don't want the mod or my money back. You weren't open to my input for what I wanted and just told me that what you thought it should be or look like when I provided said input. I will have to try this with someone else, I suppose. He says, what input? I've literally said I can do the things you asked. No face guard. Okay, I'll remove it. He's fixated on the two things he agreed to do. And I didn't even actually didn't even ask to make the coat black. Like, that was his observation. What he took away from this looks nothing like this is that, oh, mine's brown and that one's black. That's the only difference he saw, which says a lot about his mental acuity. So he says, but you haven't said make the black or add a line or anything. This is just textures, blah blah blah. You literally said it looks amazing. I didn't say it looks amazing. I said I'm impressed so far, assuming that was a rough draft. And unfortunately, that did not end up being a rough draft. He says, but okay, bro, I'm sure my mother appreciates your donation. I worked my ass off for you. Everyone who has seen it loves it. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Yada yada. He says, thank you for giving me a shot at trying. I've deleted it now. So, and I did keep an eye on DeviantArt to see if he posted this mod. Like, if he posted it, but he didn't. Like, crazy, like, oddly enough, he didn't post it. I was very surprised. But I just noticed that, and this happened in October, or early October last year. So everybody was talking about their experiences with him, and I just figured, I missed my shot the first time because I thought it would do more harm than good, but here we are now. So that's it. That's my experience with Angel Modz / Baby Joe / Joe Angel 00069.